You must have heard about the term that is like begets like. What do I mean to explain by this term? You all know that horses, they give birth to horses. Dogs give birth to pups, right, which actually turn into dogs, right, when they actually mature. Then human beings, they give birth to, right, babies, you know, which actually look like human beings. So this is what is like begets like. Now we are going to define what is heredity. It is a process by which characters are transmitted from parents to offsprings. So heredity is defined as the process by which characters are transmitted from parents to offspring, or you can also say from one generation to the other generation. So there are certain characters that are transferred from your parents to you. That is why you resemble your parents, you look like your parents, right? But you don't look exactly like your parents. There are some differences, and that differences we term them as variation, right? So what is variation? The differences found between the young ones of same parents or various individuals belonging to one species. So this is the reason, you can say, because of variation you don't look exactly like your parents. There are some differences that actually make you unique, right, that actually give you your typical personality, right. So what is variation? Those differences found between the young ones of same parents or various individuals belonging to one species, and that differences we term them as variation. So the principles of this you can say heredity, they were laid by a very renowned personality, that is Gregor John Mendel. The principles of heredity were laid by Gregor John Mendel. Well, he was a monk. When he was at a school, he actually got his education, you know, by his own efforts only. He was a monk because of poverty. Then he started working on the hybridization of pea plants. Started working on the hybridization of pea plants, and from the study of this characters of pea plants, he actually laid down the principles of heredity, right? The process by which characters are transmitted from parents to offsprings. And actually he laid down the foundation of the modern genetics. He laid down the foundation of modern genetics, right? Gregor John Mendel. Remember this very important name when we are going to study the genetics part, right? So Gregor John Mendel worked on pea plants, and he came to the basic fundamental rules regarding the heredity, and he gave laws regarding that. He gave those laws, but his work was not appreciated at that time when he was alive by the scientists, by the contemporary scientists that were there. But after his death, his work was actually recognized when it was seen that the basic laws that Mendel had framed by his findings, they actually are practically possible. So this Gregor John Mendel, he laid down the foundations of genetics. He laid down the foundation of the principles of heredity, you can say. So his work is now the basic fundamental, or you can say the basic criteria that we need to understand when we will be studying genetics, right? So like begets like, this is explained by this term, that is heredity. And since there are differences, there are changes, that is why we are unique, right? We are unique in every sense. That is because of the variation, the differences that are there between all of us, which make us unique and which make us identifiable in this whole world. So Gregor John Mendel's work is highly appreciated now because he has laid the foundations, the basic foundation. But the sad part of it is that his work was actually recognized quite later after his death. So we will be discussing the laws laid down by Mendel and why did he actually choose pea plant for all his observations. So let us begin with this.